But right now, what we are learning is that Jaishankar is to brief this particular meeting that is to be held. As we can see, they've already reached. With regards to this particular meeting, the focus is to be on Bangladesh, because remember, as we have consistently been reinstating and focusing and highlighting rather upon the fact that all eyes will now be on the External Affairs Ministry of India. What impact does India have to suffer, or India have to go through, given the current circumstances in Bangladesh? Because there's a lot of speculations, there's a lot of conversations that's coming in from Bangladesh with regards to the protesters being upset with India as well for their support to Sheikh Hasina. And we know that India and Bangladesh have had bilateral ties, very strong strategic bilateral ties for years now. But what's more important is that while India has supported both governments of Bangladesh, it is Sheikh Hasina who had a closer tie with India. And this is the particular information that we are in fact currently bringing to you. Remember, India had earlier even sent out an advisory asking all those Indians who were currently in Bangladesh to come back, to head back to the nation. Among 10,000 students who were there, Indian students who were studying there, around 7,000 had been evacuated. There's a lot of other details that have emerged with regards to the impact on India given these unprecedented circumstances that have now arisen in the neighboring country. Because remember, the effect of the impact of this of Sheikh Hasina having resigned and the anti-government movement that we saw in Bangladesh completely changes the dynamics of the South Asian subcontinent at this given point. And India is to have the majority of the impact from what exactly is going on in Bangladesh. With that, now let me cut across to our colleague Brijesh Pandey, who's joining us on this broadcast to bring us more details. Brijesh, a very good morning to you. What are we learning with regards to this particular meeting that's been scheduled? Jaishankar is to brief the meeting. Any particular other updates that we are getting around this particular meeting that's to take place? Who all will be the attendees of this given meeting?
Well, Shreya, what we've been given to understand is that yesterday leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi went and met as Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, and inquired about the situation in Bangladesh. He was briefed about it, and Jaishankar also assured him that whatever the development is will be conveyed and communicated to all the political parties and everybody concerned. And so today the government has called an all-party meeting, and T.R. Balu, Ram Gopal Yadav from Samajwadi Party, from Congress, and all political parties, representatives from all political parties are going to be part of this meet. And in this meet, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is going to brief them about the situation which is there in Bangladesh, also about the current status quo of where exactly, without disclosing the location, what is the status of Sheikh Hasina, and also the fact that for how long she's planning to stay in India, about the asylum which she's seeking in Great Britain. So I think they will be giving a lowdown without, of course, revealing any secret parlays which is going on, and so that all the political parties are up to date with the current situation, and they are able to speak in one voice. Shreya?
Right, Brijesh. In fact, let's also take a look at the conversations we've been having with some of our esteemed guests since yesterday about the impact on India. The larger perspective currently, or what we are gathering from the grounds there, is that there is a discontentment that's brewing amongst people, the protesters who are against Sheikh Hasina. They also seem to be very, at this point, dissatisfied, disappointed with India as well. So given the current interim government that's to come into power, the permanent government that is to be elected post that, what are we looking at in terms of the impact on India, given that we share a border with Bangladesh?
Well, I think, it is indeed a setback for the government of India, given the fact that, Sheikh Hasina was a friend of India, and, her sudden departure from Bangladesh, and, new government in all likelihood to be set up in next, within 24 hours as we speak. It is definitely a setback for India, but I think, the situation is too fluid right now, Shreya, to make any, solid analysis of exactly what is happening there in the state of Bangladesh. We'll have to wait and watch as to see, who gets to be the new premier whether that the interim government, which is going to be part of the, which will be formed to, to take care of the day-to-day functioning of the government till a new proper government is sworn in. We'll have to say who all are the players, who are all are being inducted in that interim government, and what is their equation with India. We share our border with Bangladesh, and what has happened is definitely not a good news as far as India is concerned. But I think, next 24 to 48 hours are crucial, given the term that who all will be forming the government in Bangladesh, whether India has any, a friend or ally in that government formation and all, where exactly we stand. So I think, the situation is very fluid as far as India is concerned. And I think they'll be waiting and watching about, the situation in Bangladesh to concretize a bit before they can move in for, to have a very clearer understanding of the situation there in Bangladesh.
Right, Brijesh. In fact, at this point, and this is a brief question that I would want a comment from you on, or rather a speculative question at this point. India and Bangladesh have always followed a policy of non-interference in each other's internal matters. But given that Sheikh Hasina currently is in Delhi after she's been rescued from Dhaka, are we looking at a given point where India might have to take some sort of an action with regards to what's currently underway in Bangladesh? Is there a possibility?
India can't take any action because, Bangladesh is a sovereign country, and India at best can wait and watch for the situation to concretize before, it can make an assessment of how the things are planning to go to as far as the fluid situation which is there in the state of Bangladesh. As it always happens, whenever a government of 15 years is toppled, feelings run high, tensions run high, tempers run high in the first, 15 days, 21 months. But then once you start going through the brass tacks of the governance of how to take the country forward, then, the situation undergoes a lot of shift. And that is the reason why, India very wisely has not made any kind of official comment about what is happening in Bangladesh. And they are also, they're very carefully monitoring the situation. And I think, it will be a while before India comes up with a comprehensive response to what has happened in Bangladesh.
Right, Brijesh, thank you for bringing us all those details and the context as well as anticipations with regards to what may happen and unfold when we speak of India and the impact on India of all that's happening in Bangladesh. This is the latest news that we are bringing to you. Centre calls for an all-party meeting on the happenings, on whatever has the unprecedented circumstances that are currently underway in Bangladesh. These visuals coming in of the all-party meeting that is currently in fact underway in New Delhi with regards to the developments in Bangladesh. Remember, as my colleague Brijesh Pandey was also saying, that at this given point, India is definitely keeping a very close watch as to how things are developing. Sheikh Hasina herself, who's been rescued by the military in Bangladesh, has been brought to New Delhi, has been flown down to New Delhi, where she awaits the United Kingdom to grant her asylum. But what extremely is important currently is the next few days in Bangladesh. How do things develop there? And as per the developments in Bangladesh, what is India's response going to be? All eyes are at this point set on that as well, as to what kind of a comprehensive response does India come up with given the current situation. Because remember, India and Bangladesh have always followed a policy of non-interference when it comes to internal matters between the both countries. While Sheikh Hasina herself has a relationship with India, with the Prime Minister himself as well, which goes beyond just the strategic bilateral relationship that India and Bangladesh share, it is also important to understand that with the regime that is probably to change in Bangladesh, what exactly will India's response be to them? How are they to reach out to this current regime that might come into power? The military that is currently in fact taking things into hand till the interim government comes to power, as has been directed by the President of Bangladesh. There are plenty of speculations that are currently going all around with regards to Bangladesh. Bangladesh being our top focus given the unprecedented circumstances that have arisen in the neighboring country.